Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an episode of Tank Talks Movies. In this particular episode, we'll be finally getting to American Pie Band. Oh. Yeah, we'll be getting to American Pie Band Camp, whatever the hell that was. Okay. The opening of this movie is pretty much Steve and his friends are just, Matt. The main protagonist in this film is Matt Stifler. That is Steve Stifler's little brother. That's Matt, right there. Yeah. So, they're in Matt's parents' house, apparently. And, apparently Steve made this Girls Gone Wild type thing back in college or some stuff like that. And Matt's like, yeah, I'm going to join the family business, just film titties, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, we're cutting to school where the band is preparing to do things, and Steve and his two friends that are just jackwagons up the ass, and they just go and start pepper spraying all the instruments. All the instruments. The drums, the flutes, the trombones, the piccolos, all that shit. They just spray the little piece where they put their mouth on with pepper spray. All of a sudden they start hearing the band come back out, and they just, I feel so bad for the band. I've never been pepper sprayed myself, but I've seen people get pepper sprayed, and it looks like it's terrible feeling. And plus, if it's just, in the mouth, just like, they're all crying, just like. Then Lacey, who's the lead of the band, like the director, ends up just yelling. Well, prior to that, Matt put his pepper spray bottle can in his pocket, but didn't realize he stuck it in upside down. So his wig, the pressure of the nozzle is being pushed on the side of his leg. So it's just constantly being sprayed. So he realizes he has just a big wet spot where his crotch is. And it's pepper spray. It's starting to burn. So all of a sudden he just finds a drinking fountain and he's just spraying, watering down his junk. So, as the band is crying and stuff, and we got this big guy, and he's named Oscar, but they give him the nickname Big O. He ends up, because he's just got a bunch of tears in his eyes, he ends up falling and trying to grab a hold of the curtain. The weight of him just tears the curtain down, and we just see Stifler's bare ass, and he just turns around, and everyone just starts in shock, and then Lacey's like, Stifler! And then, we got the American Pie symbol and Bandcamp popping up under it. Then they go to, we cut to Matt in, I'm guessing it's the principal's office, maybe the counselor's office, I'm not really sure. He just, and the counselor is Sherman. The Shermanator. So, Sherman's telling him, suspension's not good enough for you. You need to go through try to get along with these people. He's like, you're going to pack your bags, you're going to band camp. Band camp? Yeah, that's what Matt says. So, Matt's at band camp. He's got first, he's just telling all his friends that I'm gonna record these bandies doing freaky shit, because my friend Steve's friend Jim, my brother Steve's friend Jim, is married to one of those girls, and they're just fucking constantly, etc., etc. So then it cuts to Matt on the internet just ordering all these different spy stuff like cameras and like there's a hat cam, there's like hidden cameras, all that stuff. Next day delivery, and I actually never did this before, but I saw how much it cost. I'm like, all of those things, would have cost enough. He probably would have to cut off both of his legs and one of his arms to pay for. But it's a movie, and he's a Stifler, and he probably used his mom's credit card. All right, so we meet Stifler's roommate for the deal, and there's a box on his bed, and he's like, so he pretty much shoves this guy into the closet and all that stuff, and he just puts his bag in. He's like, oh, I'll hang these up for you, etc., blah, blah, blah. So, he just does a few things, like, he finally goes down to like, where the lunchroom is or something, and he, like, tries to hang out with some of the band people that he knows from school, but they're not having it because, the pepper spray thing. So he ends up meeting one of the sitting down next to two of the counselors, and he's saying something stupid like, what the Stiflers say and shit. And then, like, one of them goes, "You're Steve Stifler's little brother, aren't you? Young and hung." Okay, so, can you give him a message for me? So she ends up slapping Matt, throwing water, like juice in his face, and giving him the finger. And Matt's like, well, I guess Steve gave you the old bone and boot or something. So, alright. Just a bunch of cursing happens. Their team gets, like, taken away like 5 points. And just like all these different things and stuff like that, blah blah blah. He ends up meeting the macro, who's like the head counselor or something, and it's Mr. Levinstein, Jim's dad. He ends up helping Matt through this a little bit, but Matt ends up getting himself into silly situations, ends up kind of making friends with but prior to him actually becoming good friends with the band guys, they end up, like, Oscar, the big black guy, ends up grabbing him, and this Asian guy, we never really, I think his name is Juan, but I know that sounds racist or something, but they ends up like tying him, putting glue in his beanie and putting it on his head. Yeah, you gotta wear beanies when you're a rookie. And the toothpaste, they put a toothpaste thing up as like a toothpaste, toothpaste, just shoved it and they squirt toothpaste up his nose. All of a sudden he's in the nurse's office and there's just water flowing through it, just like through his nose, getting all the toothpaste out. And they just pretty much tells him to, Mr. Levinstein pretty much tells him to try to make friends with these people. Get their trust. Get their trust! Yeah, right. Etc., etc. So then as one of his buddies are calling, because he's at a college party or something, he's just got some rum that he's sending Matt. And then he's like, one of these bandies saw me filming the girls and stuff, etc., etc. So I have to be all nice to him and shit. You know what, maybe you should try to, use reverse psychology. Gain their trust, etc. Gain their trust. Yeah. So pretty much, he starts acting kind of goofy, etc., etc. He's running up to to Oscar and the Asian hip hop guy, whatever. He ends up, saying Thanks for the wake-up call. I won't do this stuff again. Blah, blah, blah. Walks up to Lacey, and she's like trying to do something. He's just like, trying to inform my marching orders, ma'am. And then she gives him his instrument. It's a triangle. Ting ting. Triangle. Yes, he gets a triangle for his instrument. And then he's trying to, Lacey's trying to show him, okay, when she says something about horns down, it's like down, it's like they're down position and play position. Down position, play position. Okay, so pretty much she's like, she has a trumpet or something, and she goes upward, play position, non-play position, you know. And then all of a sudden he just, boom, just like bopped him in the nose, just like, with it. It's like, oh, I think I have a hole in my tongue. Like, Stifler ends up biting his tongue, and one of the lead... Okay. Guys, you think Stifler was a jerk in the other movies? Yes, he was. This guy is the top of jerks in American Pie movies so far. For this movie. He's the lead guy for the other rival team. And he's just like saying like, Matt just wants to kick his ass, honestly. Like physically beat him up and stuff. But he's like, so they challenge, he ends up being a duel with instruments. With Thor's? No. With instruments. He was gonna win because he knows how to play, says Lacey. And then there's Matt has a triangle, so it's like tink. So he goes like tink, 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 etc., etc. You know, he's trying, but the drum, etc. You know, all that stuff. Matt looks like he's walking away in defeat. Well, I guess that's a forfeit, says one of the counselors, blah, 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 blah. Then all of a sudden we hear, like, bagpipe music. Yes. Matt Stifler knows how to play the bagpipe. Bagpipe. And as he's playing the bagpipe, he's not just playing the bagpipe. He's wearing a kilt, and he's playing Play That Funky Music, White Boy. They get the 5 points back he lost prior to the film. Lacey's all excited, you know, all the band people are excited. And, you know, just like, you know, he's starting to have a good time. But, you know, he's still bored out of his mind. Then, like, the day comes that they're having a smoothie party, or a slushy party or something like that. And his friend that sent the rum, he had 2 big bottles of rum, probably about that long and about that wide, you know. As, you know, nobody's looking, he's pouring the rum in the smoothie machine. And, you know, just everyone's going to get a little drunk and stuff like that. One moment, please. And now everyone starts having smoothies and rum flavored smoothies, I guess you could call them. And they just everyone's just having a good time, you know, just like playing instruments and all this other stuff. Then Cherie asks Oscar to follow her out into the woods more, to show him some more new dance moves. But they end up, Matt's having a rum smoothie. You know what, that might be a little thing for Tank's Foods and Drinks right there, the rum smoothie. So, that's another episode. There's going, you know, then the Asian dude's talking to Matt, and he goes, yeah, there's jealous, just all jealous, because Big O was out there with Cherie, getting freaky. So Matt runs to his room, grabs like a handheld camera, and he's got like a night vision thing. First they do start out dancing, and then they start making out. Some simple stuff. She takes her top off, etc., etc. Then they go. All of a sudden, he just walks past this thing, and earlier in the movie, the fucking Asian guy told him he screwed. Told Matt he screwed an oboe. So Matt ends up having relations with an oboe, and the Asian guy comes in and is trying to get the thing out of his dong, and then Lacey walks in. She's decently smashed, and they end up having to go to the nurse's office, and they just fill. He's sitting in the tub, and he's just filled with ice. There's this oboe just sticking out of it. All of a sudden, just like, ugh. Mr. Levinstein's just there, and he just tells him to, at one point, I don't understand with these young people sticking your privates into weird instruments, because I know someone who had sexual relations with an apple pie. And he's living a perfectly normal life right now. Alright. So, the oboe just, all of a sudden you just see the oboe just fall. So apparently his erection went down and the swelling went down, etc. So Lacey's just sitting out there waiting for him to come out of the nurse's office. Asking if he's okay, and are you okay? With the drunk, really slurry voice. Yeah, I'll be fine, etc., etc. They start talking and walking, and just all these different things. Tell him we gotta buckle down. We gotta band. No time for fun. Band, 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 etc. Then, we cut to Lacey and like writing down like her music and stuff like that. And then we cut to like Lacey and her friend. She plays, I don't know. To me, it looks like I don't know. I'm not really updated on my instruments anymore, guys. I'm sorry. They end up playing She's like, this is not you. I want you to. I liked your other stuff better. This is your strict band type stuff. I liked your other stuff because it was like your dirty, wet panties, etc., etc. And she just laughs, and then all of a sudden she on the big thing starts play that funky music, White Boy, etc. Okay, Stifler is in the water, swimming with the others, but they're also playing football. He throws the football at Lacey, and Lacey catches it, and then they're trying to show her how to play football, and etc., etc., all that stuff. And there's a scene where we got the rival team that filled with a bunch of douchebags. They just go out and just are like sunbathing and being jerks towards the other group, and all of a sudden they plan on playing a joke on them where they replace their suntan lotion. So Matt's got to go into this bathroom that's an out-of-order stall, and there's a poopy and all that stuff all over. So pretty much, he's just fantasizing about all these different girls that he likes at the camp and at school and all that stuff. So he's pretty much jerking his Zirkin into a fucking suntan lotion container. He ends up coming. Then he flushes the toilet, runs out. Two of the counselors come and tell him to remember to put lotion on your skin because your body is your instrument. Yeah. Etc. So they end up rubbing it on their face, their lips, you know, their arms and stuff like that. Matt comes bolting out and says, "Do you like that brand? Little salty? Warm and salty?" You know, just like, ugh, and then they just bolt out and everyone is like, ugh, because they think they're about to puke and stuff. They end up going to, so, they end up, Lacey and Matt end up, you know, together. They're like, just hanging out. Like they're hanging out. They start kissing. And it looks like they're about to 69 each other. And then they're just, Lacey just bolts up and goes, "I got it. Hey, you started it." Etc. You know. She quickly writes down some music and stuff like that. Matt then is getting ready to walk out, but then like the chicks he really likes from school show up, like their cheerleaders and stuff like that. The school made me come here, she said, blah blah blah. I don't fraternize with bandies. Like, she's as such, you know, we're the higher class, we're better than all, blah blah blah, you know, total bitch. Very beautiful though. So pretty much he goes, "I got these guys and girls on camera doing freaky stuff." Okay, so he's like, he ends up sending, you know, they meet up in Ariana's room or something. I think that's her name. And he's showing him what he's all got so far. And at this point, Stifler's roommate has a little robot, and it's been like filming a few things, and he ends up, it accidentally goes into the women's shower room. They just do the hottest girls in this movie. Yeah, they're getting naked. They're like, I think, can you get some suntan lotion? I think I got a little red today. Yeah, sure. They were like rubbing each other down, etc. Talking about who hooked up with who, etc. And apparently the main Jack, or the main antagonist of this film, he's like a 3-thrust popper. That's what the girl says. So she drops the lotion, and then she sees the robot. What is it? What is that thing? They open up the door, and there's Lacey walks by, and all of a sudden it shows her starting to undress, and Matt just quickly closes his computer. After he got along with everyone, everyone's against him. Oscar, Big O, just grabs the laptop parts. I'm ripping the parts out. This thing is going into the river. It's just like chucking or destroying it. But he's got a hard drive with everything on it, so really doesn't need the computer. So it's time for the big concert deal. Oscar and them don't want him near the show or anything. Matt ends up putting Ipecac in the purple thing, and that's for the rival the rival teams, like hydration, it's their juice, I guess. Lacey's band gets orange. Oscar ends up chasing Stifler out, and Ipecac, they're like, oh, orange again? They always get purple. Or grape. Man, I said we get grape. Yeah, grape. Yeah, they switch the lids, etc. They end up, the rival team does a great job. Lacey's team is just they're all just drinking all the grape, etc. They start to perform, and then all of a sudden, if you don't know what the gag comes, it activates the gagging reflex. So when Oscar starts chasing down Stifler, etc., he tries to explain. They're back at school. He's trying to explain everything, but they're not having it. So he ends up deleting everything off the hard drive because he feels really bad about the band, and he didn't mean to cause them the. So he ends up meeting up with Big O, and I don't remember this girl. She's kind of like a metalhead chick. She's cute in her own right. So they're like in a whip. Just beat the snot out of him. He's like, someone must have switched the covers. Oh. Man, that orange is sketchy, So, they end up, giving a letter to Lacey to this higher up lady, from this higher up lady that has a different, that you can get her, it'll help her get into college, or something like that. So Lacey gets this, and they're all prepped up, except, I guess she gets all fancy because she's gonna meet this higher up person. One moment, please. A little dribble. Yeah, so all of a sudden she gets to the building where this lady is from, and then she's like, realize we never see, this is a fake note letter. All of a sudden we hear bagpipe music and play that funky music, White Boy. Lacey is gonna come out there and pretty much try to murder Matt. And then all of a sudden, Lacey's band comes up behind him and just starts, playing. And then, a whole bunch of people start coming out of the building, including the person that Lacey needs to see. She goes, well, this has been a first to get a review or something like that. So Lacey ends up getting the award and the thing to help her get into college. They end up, her and Matt end up hooking up pretty much, they make out, and everyone's like, woo! And then there's the end of the movie. Then there's some captions of some blooper deals where, just people falling into pools and such like that, But, you can, what? Just watch the movie. I do recommend this movie for if you want to see a regular comedy, this is one of the movies you should watch. And that's really the deal here. It's just one. This has been Tank for Tanks Talks Movies, American Pie Bandcamp. Signing off. are you doing here? Hi folks, I am the Kaiju Master. In this pathetic excuse, I have seen your inner Kaiju tank. It will be mine.